The story begins in a hospital. It can be seen that the doctor, who is short of breath, is trying to reach a phone with wounds all over his body. The clown casually and always fully smiled, watching the doctor struggle to reach the phone on the desk. While waiting for the phone to be connected, there was still time for the clown to look in the mirror. At that time he felt that he was very handsome. The clown, who felt sorry for the doctor who had suffered a lot, then helped alleviate the doctor's suffering in a remarkable way. After doing a deed that is not commendable, the clown leaves and enters a laundry place, intending to clean all his dirty clothes after helping the doctor. That night the laundry guard fell into a deep sleep in the chair, so deep and unaware that a clown had come in. The clown acts like a normal human being. While waiting, he also reads the newspaper while looking through the news. He laughs at the news. Moments later we are also introduced to a pale girl, who looks the same as the clown himself. In this second sequel, Art the Clown will work with the pale girl. It is known that the pale girl was once a human, but whatever happened to her, she got back up but has become a demon. Meanwhile, the laundry keeper woke up. He was surprised to see Art the Clown just playing alone. Apparently, not everyone can see the existence of the pale girl. After everything was finished and his clothes were clean again, Art the Clown said goodbye and didn't forget to have a little fun by killing the laundry keeper. Then here the story begins. October is the month that celebrates Halloween. Sienna prepares everything to welcome the Halloween celebration tomorrow night. She even designs her own clothes to wear at the event later. In that room, besides a pile of candles and a wing he made himself, there is also a sword left by his deceased father. There were only 3 of them in Sienna's house, her mother and her younger brother, Jonathan. In their conversation at the dinner table, Jonathan wanted to celebrate Halloween by wearing a Miles County clown costume. What Jonathan meant was that he wanted to dress up like Art the Clown. But Sienna forbade it because it turned out that the story of Art the Clown itself was very famous, with the tragedy that killed 9 people who were killed by Art the Clown last year. Jonathan is very obsessed with Art the Clown. He even finds out about previous events where the clown killed his victims. From the news, Art the Clown was declared dead, but the biggest question is why Art the Clown's body was never found until now. That night in her sleep, Sienna had a very strange dream. She was in a playground called the Clown Cafe. At first it looked like a fun place, everyone was singing along. Sienna, who was alone, felt out of place in that place. And how surprised she was, because it turned out that there was Art the Clown, who was a guest star at the event. Art the Clown gave gifts one by one to everyone who was there. And after that, the party suddenly turned into a bloody party, and only Sienna was left alive. Sienna found a sword, and when the clown was about to burn Sienna, she fended off the fire with the sword. At the same time, suddenly his room caught fire. Not just a bad dream, but it was a bad sign for Sienna. Her mother and her brother panicked when they saw Sienna's room that was already on fire, but luckily the fire could still be put out. Sienna herself didn't know why suddenly her room was on fire. She felt strange because the sword was in the dream she was having. The next day Sienna came to an accessory shop where she bought a wing costume that she had ordered earlier. But when she was trying to put it on, she was suddenly surprised because it turned out that there was already Art the Clown. Sienna wasn't entirely sure if he was the clown from her dream or if someone just happened to be wearing the costume on purpose. But even so, there was still a feeling of fear when she was faced with the clown. Moreover, he was silent while occasionally smiling. Sienna then immediately went to the cashier to pay for her wing costume. From behind, Art the Clown continued to watch Sienna. Sienna was made nervous when Art the Clown started with his ridiculous actions. Besides being scary, Art the Clown also has a bad sense of humor. Feeling ignored by Sienna, Art the Clown tried to approach her. But fortunately, not long the store cashier was back again. At that time Sienna has still protected from Art the Clown's threat, but it was unfortunate for the shopkeeper, who is now the target of Art the Clown's ferocity. Sienna had talked about it to Ali when she saw someone wearing an Art the Clown costume at an accessory store. She also told that Art the Clown had existed in his nightmares. Ali tried to make Sienna calmer and not become paranoid. Maybe it was just a coincidence that someone wore an Art the Clown costume for fun, especially now that it's Halloween, so it's common for people to wear devil costumes. Arriving home, Jonathan showed a sketch of their father's remains. Where if, according to a series of files and sketches left by his father, Art the Clown will terrorize again. Here it is revealed that his father knew a lot about Art the Clown. Sienna looked at the sketch and was shocked. The sketch depicts the likeness of Art the Clown, and oddly enough the last sketch shows the same costume as what Sienna will wear later. Whether it's a coincidence or what, but everything in sketch is slowly starting to prove itself. Sienna felt that things were getting out of her mind. She refused to believe what she had seen. Even the strangeness had existed in her dreams. Sienna brushed aside all the bad assumptions. Maybe it was just a coincidence and couldn't have happened. But Jonathan emphasized that everything was really going to happen. Because Jonathan himself saw Art the Clown in his school with the pale girl. Jonathan asked Sienna to trust him because this is bound to happen, and asked Sienna not to go to the party tonight. On the other hand, the clown's terror began to approach one of Sienna's friends, Allie. It was common for people to come asking for gifts on Halloween night. At first, Allie herself was not suspicious and was amazed by the costume that person was wearing, but it was a shame that Allie's treatment made Art the Clown angry. Allie gave gifts, not to adults, but Art the Clown, who kept insisting that made Allie treat the clown roughly, and she was shocked when she saw the black plastic brought by Art the Clown, which contained tools. At that time, Art the Clown did not directly attack Allie. Allie was just watching the clown from behind the window, and at night there was a loud noise downstairs. Sure enough, she saw the broken glass door of his house. She was surprised. She saw Art the Clown was already in the house. Art the Clown kindly and smilingly welcomes Allie, and something terrible happens. At the same time, Sienna is now ready with her costume and leaving to attend a Halloween party, where she has made an appointment to meet Brooke. Brooke himself came with her boyfriend named Jeff. While the clown is still at Allie's house, the children come asking for gifts. With a smile, the clown gave the candy that was brought using Allie's head. And no one suspected at all that what Art the Clown was carrying was a real human head. At home, Jonathan was nervous because he was afraid that the clown would really come back. He tried to tell everything to his mother, but his mother did not believe at all what Jonathan had told him about Art the Clown. There was an argument because Jonathan spoke harshly. Out of anger, Jonathan then left the house. His mother tried to chase Jonathan, but when she saw the garage, she saw that her car was a mess. His mother also thought that Jonathan had done it while babbling his mother cleaning the car that had been smeared with hair cream. But what happened? It turned out that Art the Clown was already in the car holding a shotgun, then saying hello, and... Back to Sienna, who was partying. She saw the pale girl appearing herself, but only Sienna could see the presence of the pale girl. She, who was scared, instead made a fuss. Jonathan returned home, but he found his mother, who had died horribly. Jonathan ran to try to avoid it. Art the Clown saw a knife in Sienna's room, then took the knife with Jonathan. Sienna, who was on her way home, and Brooke, who was annoyed because Sienna was acting strangely at the party. Sienna herself didn't know what had happened to her, but soon she got a call from Jonathan telling her to come to the old carnival. It was heard that Jonathan was asking for help, and it turned out that the one who called Sienna was the pale girl who imitated Jonathan's voice. Coincidentally, the old carnival is not far from there. Jeff, who hears about it, will take Sienna there. When they got there, Sienna herself would look for Jonathan and ask Brooke and Jeff to just wait in the car. Brooke and Jeff were still waiting in the car. Jeff then came out because he wanted to pee. They didn't realize that they were being targeted by Art the Clown. While peeing, Jeff suddenly... Brooke saw Jeff being stabbed repeatedly by Art the Clown, and now it was Brooke's turn to be targeted. But Brooke still had time to fight back and try to get to Sienna. While Sienna was circling in that place, then later she heard a scream from Brooke. Sienna also found Brooke's body that had been destroyed, and now Sienna had to deal with Art the Clown. Jonathan woke up from his stupor and looked for a way to get out, but he saw Art the Clown there. Wherever Jonathan hid, Art the Clown still found his whereabouts. Sienna, who woke up again, immediately stabbed Art the Clown from behind. Those who were in Art the Clown's place were not easy for them to get out. With difficulty in a fight between Sienna and Art the Clown. Sienna stabbed him in the head with an iron, thinking he was dead, but Art the Clown attacked Sienna again. Sienna, who was no longer helpless, Art the Clown pushed Sienna until she fell into a hole, then put Sienna in a box filled with water. In the water there were living roots that held her legs so that Sienna could not rise to the surface. She could only rebel for help, while outside she saw several people who were only busy playing. They ignored Sienna, who was in the box. Slowly Sienna was out of breath and she passed out. The sword inherited from her father now emits magical powers. That sword can heal the stab wounds in her stomach as well as revive Sienna. When Art the Clown ate Jonathan's leg, Sienna came and immediately stabbed Art the Clown's head back. Not enough with stabbing, Sienna also beheaded Art the Clown until his head was cut off. Shortly thereafter the pale girl appeared, but she didn't attack them. She just took Art the Clown's head and left. Sienna and Jonathan finally managed to survive after going through a very terrible Halloween night. At the end of the movie, we are also shown back to the hospital, where Art the Clown is reborn from a pregnant woman. Okay guys, so that's the Terrifier 2 movie recap. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and see you in the next movie recap.